Hi, this is Kathi Quinn with Floriani. Floriani is a division of R&K Distributing, and I want to welcome you to our Club Weekly. We're going to be talking about one of the new updates that we got in our Floriani software for winter 2020, and it's a lot of fun. So let's get going. We opened the software today, and when we open, My Floriani Today banner comes up. Now on the left side of this banner is our R&K Software Club. That is where we find all of our free weekly videos. Every week you get a free video that teaches you an aspect of the software. And since they're all archived there, they go back to 2014. I've done tons of video. Trevor Conquergood has done video. Hope's got some videos in there. So they're mostly Trevor or I. Trevor is our new software manager, if you weren't aware of that. And so we have done lots and lots of videos. Trevor came on as our software manager within this last year, and he is doing a phenomenal job. So you'll see videos by me, you'll see videos by Trevor, but just go look by subject and see what you want to watch. And these videos are typically 8 to 12 minutes long. They're very quick, very short, and teach you something specific about our software, and they're always free. Now on the right side of this banner, I want you to notice this is my progressive classroom, pclassroom.blog. Now if you just click on it, it'll of course take you there. And what this is this is my classroom. It is a membership classroom. It does come at a cost, but in this classroom, if you just click on it to check it out, if you come in here, you'll see this month's project. Even though I would rotate this the right direction, this is a collage quilt or wall hanging, and the majority of this, the heart and the quilting on the heart and stuff, is done in the hoop. Pretty cool. Now, we did use the machine to quilt around the edges, but it's a lot of fun. There's also, right here is a free mask project. So if you're looking at making safety masks, here is a free project that you can watch. I don't need your email. I don't need anything. Here's instructions. There's the video. So you can watch how, what I tell you to print out, and then you can watch how we put it together. Now, right now, you can also go to log in, or free project. Then it will ask you for your email and password. So you can set up an email and password and get in to see the free project. These projects that I do have a software lesson. Then they have videos of how to construct it together with me. Now, right now, the classroom has 23 videos on it. 23 projects are up. If you joined today for a year, which is $203 to join for a year, you would get those 23 plus the next 12. So you would own 35 projects in here, and they all come with a software lesson. You learn all kinds of techniques, both sewing, embroidery. So that would actually make that about $5.08 a class. How can you beat that for a software lesson? So go to my login. Go ahead and do the free project. See if you like how I teach. See if you enjoy. That project teaches you how to digitize and create flowers, dimensional flowers. It teaches you how to edit a design. It teaches you about design placement. It's just a fun project. But I have lots of projects in here. And the thing about projects is you want to go through and do them, whether you are crazy about the project or not. Here's one on napkins. It's all different napkin finishes you can do. Making a recyclable bag, upcycling jeans. There are tons of projects in here. There's one in here on how to do paper towels. Make your own paper towels out of white fabric and some terry. And that way you've got paper towels that you use over and over again, but you learn how to digitize different things to put on each towel. Then you can bleach them because Floriani thread is 100% color fast, and you learn about cam snaps. So check out the Progressive Classroom. I tell you, I miss y'all so much, but if we get together, at least in the classroom, I feel like there's connection here. So I look forward to seeing you in my classroom. Please check it out. And under Chatty Kathy, come in and tell me what we could have done different on these projects or what you would like, because I learn just as much from you as you ever learn from me. Post your pictures, post what's going on. This is a time where we really need to connect. So if nothing else, post about what you're doing. I think I talked about in here, I've talked about, I've been out to check on the chickens, I'm digging up gardens. Let's just talk about our lives. It'd be good to see you there. Okay, let's get started on our new feature with our Floriani software. And we have had a bean stitch for quite some time, but now we have the variable bean. This is way cool. So I'm going to come up to the top and I'm going to left mouse click on my artwork tool, and I'm going to tell it I want a straight line. Now I'm going to come to my little ruler bar here and I'm going to right mouse click. I want you to know if there's any hidden treasure, it's under that right mouse click. So if you want to see if there's something else to do, right mouse click on it, and that kind of puts that shovel in and digs up those hidden little nuggets. I'm going to say snap to grid because I want to draw straight lines. So I'm going to snap to grid. So you can see, if I keep my hand off of it, that I have a check mark by snap to grid. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to left mouse click, pull my line over, and I'm going to left mouse click. Now notice my line's not straight, so what? It's going to jump up and snap to that grid. So I'll have a perfectly straight line. So I will right mouse click. Now I'm going to left mouse click, come over here, left mouse click, right mouse click. So now I have two artwork lines. I haven't done anything with them. So I'm going to select them. I'll select both of them by clicking all items in my sequence view, and I'm just going to make them a run stitch. So I have two run stitch lines here. Well, I'm going to select all items. I'm going to come right up to my repeat design, and I'm going to say I just want one set of lines going across, but I want 3 sets of lines going down. So that'll give us 6 lines. Apply. 1 going across and 3 down. That should give me 6, right? Because there's 2 lines. Let's see. See if I know what I'm talking about. No, I told it I wanted 1 across and 3 down, so that's what it gave me 4. I was thinking of it as a set, but they weren't grouped as a set. So anyway, I could make more lines without drawing each line. Now I wanted to show you something important. When I drew these lines, I'm going to come over to my left-hand toolbar and click on my shape tool. You notice I started here and I stopped here on line number 1. So I told the stitching, start here and stitch along and stop right here. Notice on line number 2, I started here and I stopped here. Why? Because I want it to stitch efficiently. Otherwise, it would have had a dotted line across all the way across here where it trimmed, it tied off, then the whole hoop moved back over and it would have started over here again and gone, trimmed, hooped would have moved back over. This is just efficiency. So that's why I did 2 lines, one with a start stop and a start stop. Okay, just a little side lesson. Now we're going to go to our select tool on our upper left hand toolbar, and I'm going to click line number 1. Now it says it's a single run and my stitch length is 2.5. Well, I'm going to use a bean stitch, and I want to use some of our new 12 weight thread with it. so it'll kind of look more hand done. So I'm going to make the stitch length of 4. You want a 3.5 to 4, and since this is a bean going back and forth, I want a much longer stitch. So now I have told that to be 4 stitch length. Okay. Now I'm going to come right here to the run plus. Plus what? Let's see. Plus. Bean style. I want a bean. Now what I want is bean repeats. Now notice this box says standard. So this first line I could do 3, 5, 7, 9, or 11. I'm just going to do 3 bean repeats and I'm going to apply. Now let's see if I can make this a really good color that perhaps we could see really well on this screen. Let's try here. Okay, and let's 3D this. And let's kind of zoom in. Okay, well, I don't want to zoom in that much. That's not helping us. Let's zoom out. Okay, so you can see, and I'll put on my stitch points, if I come down on the left toolbar and I click the word stitch points, it'll show you right where my needle falls. Those little picots are where the needle falls. So you can see these are at 2.5, these are at 3, and this is supposed to look a little heavier. Of course, we're looking at a 3D picture on a 2-dimensional screen. So let's go ahead and fit back to screen. Now what we're going to do is we're going to select our second one. Now I'm going to go to that plus bean, and I'm going to say, I do want a bean style. Ooh, I'm going to go back. Let me go back to just a regular one. I want to change the stitch length again to about a 4. Okay, I could have changed the stitch length on all of these at once by selecting them all, but we're going to go through steps. Now bean repeats. I don't want standard anymore. I want varying. And I want 6 variables. I could pick 2, 3, totally up to you, but we're going to pick 6 variables. And I'm going to say the first one, I want to do 1. I want the next bean stitch to have 3 repeats. I want the next one to have 5. Then I want 7. Then I want 9. Then I want 11. And I'm going to say okay. Now what's going to happen, and I will apply that. If we look at this, let's get to this next one and let's change it to a different color because it makes it easy to find them in our color bar. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to come to our next one. Now watch how this next one stitches. It's going to stitch it several times. See how it's stitching several times over that one stitch? So now it's going to vary and the pattern will repeat 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11 as many times as I stitch it. As long as the line is, once it hits its repeat, it's going to start over. So let's go ahead. I don't know why you didn't stay green. Stay green for me. Now let's get the next one. The next one again, 4. Stitch length, apply. Let's go to our bean extra. This time I want a bean and I want a standard. I'm going to click down that so I get to varying. Now I don't want 6, I want 2 on this one. And I'm going to come in here and I'm going to say with these 2, what I want is I want a 1 and I want a 3, or maybe even a 5. And I'm going to say okay, and I'm going to apply. And what I've created here is like a Sawtooth, almost like a sashiko. It's going to do a pile up. It's going to do a single, then a pile up, a single, a pile up. So it's going to give you a really cool raised look on that. And you remember, we're using that 12-weight thread. That's our new Floriani thread. Of course, this works great with regular embroidery thread. But that 12-weight thread, when we start doing these variable beans, it gives it so much of that hand look. It looks really neat, like you're using 6 strands of floss. It looks really nice. So we're going to select our last one, and I don't know why my color changes are not seeming. Yeah, they are. I just didn't see it. That was a little bit too close. Okay, let's get the last one. Let's go back. Okay, so what are we going to do first? Yes, we're going to change this stitch length to 4. And I'm going to apply that because it's telling me now what length I want those beans to be. Now I'm going to come in here and I'm going to say bean style. Yep. I don't want standard. I want varying. And I'm going to go ahead and go with 6 again. And this time I'm going to go to 1, 5, 1, 7, 1, 9. These are kind of neat little charts to make. And then stitch these guys out. See what they look like. See what you like. Now, if you're going to use our thread, remember that if you're using 12 weight thread, you need a 90-14 top stitch needle. The difference is a top stitch needle has a bigger eye on it. I slow my machine down. I'm asking it to go back and forth a lot into that hole. And I don't want it going so fast it kind of misses. I want it to look like that hand look more. So you can see with our new variable bean stitch, this will really make outlines pop. This will give you a fun look on that collage, the heart collage that I just did. For the progressive classroom, I put the word love. I used a bean stitch for that. You can have so much fun with this variable bean. Now next week, we're going to discuss our variable fill stitch, and this is way, way cool. Trevor stitches out samples to show you when he does a class, and which I really, really like. Watch his video on this variable bean under. Let me show you where you can watch all kinds of stuff. If we go to our Floriani club, now remember, this is the free club. Mine is the pclassroom.blog, Progressive Classroom. This is your free software club. I'm going to sign in, and you do have to log into this. You'll join, and they'll send you a password, and then you can go ahead and change the password to anything you want. I'm going to go to updates, and I'm going to go to Floriani embroidery software. I know I've shown you this before, but just in case, here is our new updates. If you go and look at Trevor's variable bean stitch, you can see he also stitches it out for you, so you can kind of see what this is going to look like. So watch his video as well. We think different. The tools are exactly the same, but someone may understand what I'm saying very clearly and not understand Trevor, or vice versa. Trevor explains it and it's like, oh, I get it. I explain it and you still have questions. So in our new updates, I'm going to teach you all of these features from my perspective. Trevor has taught you the features from his. And next week, we're going to look at the bean stitch fill. Last week, we looked at our smart fill tool. That is way cool. So watch the videos, go back through the Learning Center, go to blogs and news. The Club Weekly, I'm going to go to the archive just real quickly. Of course, you always get this week's is on the face of the club, but these are all the videos. And you can look and look and look. Trevor did a whole series on lace making. Lace was a big deal. People were asking all about the lace making, and Trevor did some on lace making. We have so many awesome features that you can use on a daily basis if you just know they're there. With this time, when you've got lots of time, go back through some of our free videos. Join my progressive classroom. Do some projects with me. Post your pictures. Tell me how you would have done it, what you saw that could have been easier. I look forward to spending time with you here in my sewing room. Have an amazing week. Stay safe out there. and stay positive. See you soon.